Reds are close, I think.
Oh yeah, break that shit. Yeah, that guy's fucked. Wait, you're right.
No, no,
what do you mean, man?
What?
According to YouTube, I do not have enough subscribers to sustain myself. So please like and subscribe. And if you want a coaching session, click the top link in the bio. Otherwise, sit back and take some notes and enjoy the video.
Why is everybody playing that chamber trap? That doesn't make sense to me.
The chamber trap's actually really good. I don't think there's
chamber trap close there.
Yeah, it's really good because it will tell you whether they enter shop or whether they enter cave. Because if you think about this, okay, so I'll show you. I'll show you the other types of trips that you can use depending on the situation, right? So I think the trips that you might be thinking that somebody could use here, breeze, attack. So other trips that somebody could use, right, as for example, are here, and like here. These are the other two trips that people could use. The issue with these is if you are 5 sending one of these angles, then these trips are avoidable from the other position, right? Where this, if you're 5 sending, then this trip is just the best trip because like you guys are all going to be scaled out like sight area. So like this trip will hit them if they are going to like any flank, right? And it won't
actually,
make a difference.
I understand that, but in my experience with this trip that he plays, there's always people dying because they don't know that the trip is there and they stand often in a position where like the flank can kill them. Yeah, they stand like open for that.
Okay, well then like, is that a trip problem or is that a them lack of awareness problem? And then also I want to make the
lack of awareness, yes.
And then also I want to make the argument that okay, if we put the trip here, what's stopping them from still dying from this angle?
Yeah, true.
And then also not only that, but if I want to bring this up too, if there's a jet that's fast flanking and they smoke this, you guys will hear it. Comparative to if it's over here, you will not hear the jet smoke this trip.
That makes sense, yes.
So there are situations like if you want to put this trip here, it's fine. You just need to have somebody go down elbow or go down halls, right? This trip's fine if you want somebody to go down halls, right? But if you look at like what you guys are doing, you have nobody going down halls. So like it makes more sense for your trip to be here.
Nice. One out yellow.
Why?
Nice.
Why do you feel the need to take the fight here?
Nice. I'm not quite sure why I'm taking the fight. It's basically probably because everyone's fighting them and I want to help the team. Like my chamber was fighting there and this guy as well, kind of. But so I probably could have stayed. Yeah, because of the chamber, he peeked like seconds before me. He just TP'd out. But
you like hear him TP out right here,
nice.
And then there's no way your brain doesn't process that, right? So it's like to me,
I can
like,
stay defensive there because we are 5v3 up.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's like the whole point. It's like yes, you can say that I was fighting because my teammates were fighting, but at the same time, like you were the first to peak in reality, right?
Yes.
So to me, I don't think it's that you're fighting because your teammates were fighting. I think the genuine reason why you fought is because you wanted to fight.
That's the point when he started raging. He basically raged about Viper not calling that the wall was going down.
Stairs run yellow.
Wait, but here there's like an audio cue that you can hear. Like he knows it's going down. Anyway, for this point, once your Viper dies, or not your Viper, but your Reyna, like you should start throwing utility in a sense to like slow down their retake, right?
Yeah.
And try to like offset them. So like you need to put up your wall, and then like maybe you could peek on top of it as well, or you could throw a slow somewhere, right? But you're just kind of like wide swinging here. Like you as a default, you result to just peeking people rather than actually using your utility and like thinking about how you can use your utility in XYZ situation, right? Which makes sense though, because you used to be a chamber player, so you never really had that like utility value. Right?
Yeah.
You never really had it, so it's just something you need to work on. Like your utility usage is like incredibly weak, and the best way to think about it is like, okay, XYZ happened, then I can use my utility in like wherever situation. This wall is really not my favorite. Like your stage wall is fine. His Viper wall is a little weird. Not a fan.
Why not?
The Viper wall?
Hello.
The diagonal one? It just gives them way too much space to retake from. So for example, right? I get the intention behind it. Right, and it can work in certain situations, but like it's being thrown every round. You guys go to B, right? So this wall gives you way more space, right? So for their retake, they have a lot less to work with comparative. Look at how close this Sova is the second the bomb goes down, right? And he's able to do that because you're putting the wall like this, right? So because you put the wall like this Sova is able to literally walk up and put himself right here and like right here, and they're able to play this pillar. And then when this wall goes down, you have to worry about all these close angles all at the same time, which gives them way too much space for their retake.
Makes sense to me. We like play the wall because it feels like it's easier to take side.
Yes.
But we probably just didn't think about a retake then.
Yes, it's way easier. I do agree. It is way easier to take the site. It eliminates the amount of angles you have to clear, right? You don't have to worry about back pillar. You don't have to worry about this. But it's about the mid round where the issue comes in. So a lot of times you'll throw this wall and you'll win the take, but then you'll lose the retake.
Come with me.
So this is like another thing though, of like something you like to do. You always put this wall down here, which it does the exact same thing, right? So it's like when you think about the B site, right? This is a default Viper wall A if you guys are all going A. But like when you wall like this and you wall like this, it only gives you this space to work with, right? Like this is all the space you have, which means they have all the space to retake. That means they can come all the way over here, break your wall, and then pressure you guys, right? And for example, if they come and they put up the, like they save their Viper wall for retake and they do this, all of a sudden, right, all the space that you're giving them is like, you're essentially giving them all of this, right? So it's like, and it's like, this is such a confined space to play in, right? It doesn't feel comfortable. And you've probably felt that before. So example, something you can do, especially as Sage, bro, you can just run down halls and you can just put up your wall here and then you can open the door and take fights from door.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right? Because then, right, if you kill the people that are like yellow and like back sight, then the space that you guys then have is this. Do you see how much more space that is? Right? You have all this space to play.
It's a lot more, yeah, sure.
And then like after you get your kills, you don't even have to stay here. Like you made your threat, you get your kills, you can just like walk away and you just go play cave.
What on B?
Also, this is like another thing of like, what do we want to do, right? So it's like, here we are, right? We're in the situation where, oh shit, there's a Viper ult. All right, then let's just go A, right? It's okay. Just like call a cancel. Let's go A. They Viper ulted here. It's not a big deal, you know? But instead, you guys are just gonna sit here and spam for 60 seconds because nobody's making a decision, and then you're just like stuck.
Oh, it's the Viper.
This is like a thing, right? This is like another thing of understanding numbers, right? You know one's flank, you are 3v4, like look for a fight, right? Like go for one, right? Maybe go flank and look for a fight, right? Maybe you peek out half wall, look for a fight, but it's okay to look for an engagement here. I feel like there's a lot of times where like you just don't understand like the numbers concept.
Balance and memory.
Yeah. Right? You either over peek in situations you shouldn't do, or you shouldn't, or you hide. Actually, I know exactly what it is. You want to know what it is? When you feel like the round's unlosable, you go look and take for your fights because you want kills. When you feel like the round's like gonna be lost, you hide because you're too scared of like losing the round for your team. So you just gotta flip those perspectives around, right? When it's unlosable,
makes sense, yeah.
Like when it's quote unquote unlosable, then just make sure it's not lost, right? But when it's really hard to win, be the person who wins the round for your team, right?
My dear. Oh,
you're just retaking too early. So think about the situation at hand. 4v4, your team isn't in like a ready position to retake yet, and you're like scaling up by yourself, right? So you should be waiting for, because like you're offering a 1v1 essentially when you guys have weapon advantage, right? This wall, in my opinion, is like, okay, it's not bad, but it's not good. I'm just not a fan of it. I'd rather see walling one of the mains on pistol round specifically, right? Because think about how long it takes for a wall to break, which allows times for rotations, right? So either wall A main or A main on pistol. And then here, it's like, it won't... The thing about this wall is it's okay because it doesn't cut off rotations, but it does cut off rotations at the same time. So for example, if you wall mid doors and your teammates want to rotate from B through mid, then they can't. So it like cuts that off. So it also gives space to the enemy, right? So like, in reality, with Sage on this map, you either should be walling halls, elbow, which isn't the best wall in my opinion, but it's something you can do, mid or A, or not mid, or B or A, one of the two, just not mid doors. I think this wall is like a really weak wall because it fucks your rotations and like it's just not the best. And they can peek over top of it and like see in the sight still. So like this.
Makes sense.
This wall is really bad, by the way.
Yeah.
I understand why you're doing it. Like, I get the baseline thought process, but like, it opens up people to walk up here.
Yes, basically you have to run into elbow and try to wall there.
Yeah, and it also cuts off your own rotations, and you have to rotate through spawn. So at this point, you need to start recognizing what the enemy's team's doing. So they're just like running it down one site, right? If you notice what the enemy team's done, they might send 1 to 2 towards mid, but that's maxed, and then they like 5 hit the site, and they just hit it at the start of the round.
Yeah.
So wherever these guys are,
You go
right? So you should wall off
for
contact
hit.
with their noise if you're gonna wall aim in, right? And if they don't make noise, then you should just run it down A,
Then
just
I
because
hold-
of how the enemy's been playing, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
The
I
right
think we
side
will
goes-
instantly here. Alright, well.
One more.
No, oh, never mind, we fight them.
Yeah, you're going there with
Because we're still
Wait,
in the
but they make-
mindset that our Reyna is basically
One more.
trolling, and that's why we fight them aggressively there.
That's not a good play. Like, if you're gonna play aggressively, don't make dumb plays, right? Because like in reality, the best case scenario, you and Viper go 2 for 2, but then you lose like bomb site, right? This is like your best case scenario, basically. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, if you guys go fucking God's gift mode, right, you might get more than 2, but like you know, it's just not good fights. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense, right? If you want to make an aggressive play, make a smart one. Like walk down halls, that could give your team an advantage. Walk down elbow, it could give your team an advantage. But just walking down cave or walking down B main, just kind of troll, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Realize you bought a judge. Wait. Wait, why did I
We
just
wanted
realize
to.
this?
We were like kind of in an eco, I think, and that's why we wanted to stack B with like close weapon. If they send it B main, then we just have like
I think the
judges
better
and stingers there.
the better way to go about this is like, don't buy a judge. The judge has like such little versatility on this map. It's essentially a huge gamble. Instead, what you should do is buy like a sheriff or a stinger, and that way, if you get into medium to long range fights, it's like you have a chance, right? And not only that, but like the cost efficiency of those weapons are like way better. If you want to buy a shotgun and you really want to gamble, just buy a shorty, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because you're just hurting your econ in the future, and you're not really thinking about your future economy. Because like
I'll just
in
go
your head,
for
oh, I
some
can still
kills,
buy
I
next
guess.
round.
But as long as they're not committing, I'm chilling.
They are.
They are.
Yes, they are committing.
That is
I like
syntax
that.
amazing.
So something you can do is what's called update comms
Is
of
there
like what's happening, right? So they're droning out A, they put up their wall A, right? Those are update comms to tell people like what's happening on your side of the map, because she can't tell that they're droning, she can't tell that they put up the Viper wall, or that like they're random blinding out. Like, so those are comms that you can give, and that's like a way
1
you
second
can,
mid.
like, I guess bring your comms to the next level, right?
Jonas,
You should scale same side as Reyna here, right? Because if your Reyna goes this way, this is like a reactionary thing, but if your Reyna goes this way and you go this way, then they could go isolate fights, you know, one at a time. Just something to think about. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below, because God, I'd suck someone's dick to get put in the algorithm. YouTube, if you're watching this, just let me know.